an ongoing project for the past 3 years. I had the idea 4 years ago, really, that I could do a self-contained water wheel in one of these metal cages that those big syrup containers come in. So I managed to pick up the metal container for about $120. The tub is out in the barn. I picked up the actual spool, the wood wheel, for free. Electrician company next to where I worked. Once I told the owner what I was looking to do, he pointed me to the back lot and said, "Help yourself, take all you want." I snagged 4. This one was in the best shape and it was the right size. Home Depot sells these buckets. They were $2 or $3 a pop. There's 10 of them. No, I'm sorry, there's 5 of them cutting in half there. The bearings I picked up on the internet, and the 1-inch shaft I got for free out of a scrap pile. So just a 1-inch metal shaft, 1-inch bearings, block bearings. That fitting there was a little bit more difficult to find, but found it on the internet. Forget what it's called. Floor flange or something like that. Scrapped out a bicycle. I believe it was a 15-speed bicycle at the time. The big sprocket from the bicycle ended up being attached to the shaft down here via a piece of wood and attached to another one of those brackets. Standard bicycle chain, which I did have to lengthen a little, went to the bicycle wheel, which in turn goes to my Missouri wind and solar alternator, which is sitting on a board that is actually somewhat loose fitting. It can slide back and forth. I'm keeping tension on it with bungee cords, and it's fastened more solid over there. The plan is to cut this metal here and make a brush shot water wheel, because I don't have enough head in my creek to do overshot. But I do believe I can get about 3 or 4 feet of head, and I'm hoping that brush shot combined with the creek running under the wheel, the two combined, hopefully give me enough flow. I can get more flow because I snagged half a dozen or more fire hoses, nice long ones, 3-inch, off Craigslist. And even though they leak, you know, they're not good enough for the fire department. They're good enough to lay in the creek and bring more water down under pressure if I need it. So, in another clip that I'll add to this, I hooked up 200 feet of 12-3. Yeah, it's 12-3 quality extension cords that I got from Costco. And the plan is to bring those in to this rectifier here, through a hole in the wall down here in the basement, bring it over, rectify it. I have the poor man's charge controller, which is really just solenoids, a solenoid that watches the batteries, and when the batteries reach like 14 volts or so, trips over to a dump load. And for dump load, I went out and for $60 I bought an old not old, fairly decent electric hot water heater that was hardly used. And I got heating elements, 24 volt heating elements, again from Missouri Wind and Solar. Got that device and the rectifier from Missouri Wind and Solar, as well as my 24 volt pure sine wave inverter. And the plan there will be to come out the inverter and simply backfeed this 50 amp fuse box for the house. Right now it's just doing battery maintenance outside. Battery wise, I picked up a ton of computer backup batteries in a computer rack Those were wired for a 48 volt system. I've rewired them all to be 24 volts. So that's my plan, stacking up and charging that whole battery bank. Sealed lead acid computer backup batteries. That in essence is the plan. I will keep you posted as to how we make out once we end up in the creek.